Okay students, a very good evening. So today students we will be talking about a very important topic, that is going to be reproductive health and the menstrual cycle. Not only with the point of view of examinations, but these two topics are important for our lives as well. Okay, so students, let's discuss these two topics today. So first of all students, if we talk about reproductive health, so what is the meaning of reproductive health first of all? So students, WHO, it means our World Health Organization, has given a definition for the reproductive health. What is that? Reproductive health is going to be, students, a state, okay, of complete, okay, physical, then your mental, okay. Just give me a second. Yeah. So students, if we talk about the reproductive health, it is going to be complete physical, mental and social well-being in all matters relating to the reproductive system, right? So in males and females, the reproductive system is there, and that particular reproductive system in males and females, that is basically important for the process of sexual reproduction in humans. Related to that, the person should be physically, it means all the reproductive organs should be healthy, and they will be helping in the growth of the baby properly, and both the persons, both the genders, individuals are going to be should be fertile also. It means they will be able to give birth to the baby. So physical well-being, that is what the physical well-being. Now mental well-being, it means it will be now relating all the aspects, right? So here in mental well-being students, behavioral aspects are also going to be there a part, okay. How a person or an individual is having a kind of thoughts or mentality, or we can say approach, right, to the matters or the things related to the reproduction, okay. So that is going to be something that is related to that. Certain hormonal secretions are also going to be there in the body, okay. Some of the glands present in the basically brain that are responsible to release those particular hormones, okay. So that is also something related to that, okay. And after that, social well-being, it means students how that person, again here also the behavioral aspects are going to be there, how that person is there in society, okay, dealing with the things all around the in the surrounding with the other people, okay, related to the reproductive, we can say reproduction related things and ideas, okay. So students, if we talk about any person who will be perfectly fit in all these three criteria, including the behavioral aspects also, we can then consider that person as reproductively healthy, okay. Otherwise the person is not going to be reproductively healthy, okay. So reproductive health students is not only going to be something like that related to the anatomical structure, whether they are going to be fertile and they are capable to give rise to a baby. No, it is related to the mental and the social well-being also, okay. Now what we need to do students, if we want to keep ourselves, maintain our reproductive system, we can say healthy, and we can say reproductive health, to maintain that, what all the things that are there that we need to do. The very first thing students, that is going to be taking balanced diet. It is going to be the most important thing, because in our body each and every part students, it will be requiring nutrition, okay. So proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, all these things, just like our other body parts are requiring these things, similarly our reproductive system, those organs that are present in the reproductive system, those things also require these different types of nutrients. So taking a well maintained balanced diet is going to be very important students, in order to have a good reproductive health. And we can say that our we can say whatever be the anatomical structures, reproductive organs are there, to maintain their health, the balanced diet is going to be very important. Next to it students, if we talk about girls, because girls have a complex type of reproductive system, where the menstrual cycle process is also going on, okay, every month, and that we'll be discussing about that in the next section only. So students, girls requires lots of iron rich diet, okay. So iron rich food girls need to take in order to maintain the number of RBCs in their body, because RBCs contain hemoglobin, and hemoglobin has iron mineral as a component in it. Okay. After that, students, due to increased activity of sweat and the sebaceous gland, as soon as any individual human being attains the puberty, it means that person is capable of producing the gametes. So several hormonal activities are going to be increased in our body. Okay, at that time the sweat gland and the sebaceous gland that are there in our body, their secretions also increases. And we know that lots of students excretory waste are also going to be released through these two our we can say glands. So our body hygiene is also very important, just like regular bathing, okay, proper cleanliness of we can say like reproductive organs like male and female genitalias, that is also very important. Okay, if we are facing any type of problem or issues related to that, to like we should never be shy, we immediately need to contact our parents or whatever be the like people around us that are working like our guardian that are there. We should approach the doctors also, okay, because this is the awareness part, students. If we are not aware about it, okay, we will be taking it as a taboo, then we will not be able to deal with those situations that will be related to our reproductive system, and that can create, we can say, some severe problem in the body. Okay, so just like our other body parts are there, they require proper cleaning, maintenance. If any problem is there, then we are reaching out to the doctor. Similar to that, if we talk about reproductive system and its organ, they are also there. Okay, they are our body parts only, so we require their also cleanliness. Okay, hygienic maintenance there is also very important, and if any problem we are facing related to that, to reaching out the doctors and our guardians, in that case also is going to be very important. So this is going to be another thing. After that, students, if we talk about the girls, they should take maintain a spatial hygiene during the menstrual cycle when it is happening, menstruation is happening, right? So because as we have already discussed, the girls have a little bit complex type of like reproductive system, and the processes that are going on in the girls regarding the sexual reproduction in humans, that is also a little bit complex. Okay, so at the time of menstruation process that is happening, so girls should need to take special we can say care of hygiene at that time, okay, to avoid themselves from any sort of infections or diseases. After that, next thing, students, physical exercise is going to be very important. Just like, students, our other body parts, they require physical exercise, okay, to maintain we can say their development, regular energy flow, okay, proper we can say whatever the fat deposition that is going to be there over different body parts, okay, that can create some problem of obesity, etc. So that is also going to be like protected in case of your like whenever we talk about reproductive system, there also physical exercise will be helping in that way only. Okay. After that, students, social awareness regarding ill effects of drugs and stimulants, okay, because again regarding the age, when we talk about you people, okay, so at your age we are not that much aware, okay, so we should like very careful about these things, okay, just like drugs and stimulants that are going to be there, so we should need to be aware about them. And if we don't know anything, okay, then we should not just like jump into some situation that can create problem for us. Always we should need to take we can say guidance of our guardians and the parents, okay, in all these related methods without wasting any time, okay, that is going to be very important. And after that, student, last thing is going to be proper use of contraceptive methods, basically the barrier methods that will be preventing the sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, so last point, we will be discussing contraceptive methods in the next particular session in detail. So student, these are going to be few important we can say points that are very important in order to maintain the reproductive health. Okay, now let's talk about the next particular topic, that is going to be menstrual cycle. What is menstrual cycle, students? If we talk about the menstrual cycle, so in females what happens, just like gametes are going to be released in males and females. Now these gametes will be fusing, it means male and the female gamete, they fuse, and then the process of fertilization will be done, zygote will be forming, and that zygote will be giving rise to a baby. Okay, slowly. Now students, if we talk about the release of gamete process, it will be different in males and females in humans, right? So if we talk about in females how gametes are going to be released, students, females have two ovaries. Okay, so if we talk about students females, they have two ovaries, one on the right hand side and one on the left hand side. Okay, so these ovaries students, they are going to be primary sexual organs. If we talk about ovaries, they are going to be primary sexual organs. Okay, so these ovaries have the responsibility to release gamete. It means your female gamete. That's why we call them primary sexual organ, or we can say gonads also. Okay, so these are going to be two things, two terms that we give to the ovary. Now students, this ovary, when it will be releasing the female gamete, now what happens, every month one female gamete will be released every month. So in 1 month one particular ovary will be releasing one female one female gamete. In the next month other ovary will be releasing the female gamete. So alternatively each ovary will be releasing female gamete every month, unlike males. In males, right, just like gametes can be released, okay, at any moment of time, but if we talk about the females, one gamete will be released, okay, in 1 month, right. After that students, what happens, this particular gamete that will be released by the female, okay, it means when it will be receiving the sperm and fusing with it, then forming the zygote and thereby slowly the baby. So there will be certain preparations that are going to be done by the female reproductive system, okay, and these preparation will be helping in the overall development of the baby, okay, for that period of time when the baby is inside the mother womb. Okay, so students, this whole preparation that is there, this menstrual cycle is related to that thing only, right. So first of all students, what will happen, every month one female gamete will be released, okay, by one ovary alternatively. Okay, when this thing happens students, then a proper planning, proper development of the reproductive structure here it will be happening. We'll discuss how it happens, okay, and during this phase whatever the changes that are happening, okay, in that whole month, then again the same changes will be happening in the next month, then again in the next month, so it will be keeps on going. Okay, so that whole particular cyclic process is known as menstrual cycle. It will be starting students, okay, every 28 to 29 days, it means 1 month, right, and it will be starting in females at the age of somewhere 10 to 14. Okay, so between 10 to 14 this thing like menstrual cycle will be starting in the females. The first menstrual flow that happens, we will be calling it as menarche, and the last menstrual flow that will be happening in the females around the age of 45 to 50 years, it will be known as menopause. It means after 45 to 50 years when the female will be having the last menstrual flow, after that this cycle will be ended. Okay, after that it will not happen. Okay, now if we talk about students the menstrual cycle will be having basically your 3 phases. One, that is going to be menstrual phase, when there will be flow, okay, that whole process we commonly call as periods also, and after that students we will be having the proliferative phase, and one of the phase is going to be secretory phase. So what are these phases students? Let's talk about them in detail. So first of all students, if we talk about the different phases, those 3 phases that we have talked about now, in between there will be one more phase, ovulatory phase, when your ovulation will be happening, it means egg release will be happening. Okay, so let's talk about students all these phases, the menstrual phase, proliferative phase, ovulatory phase and your secretory phase. So students, first of all, menstrual phase. What is menstrual phase? But before menstrual phase students, let me make you understand one important thing. See student, this is going to be the uterus. Okay, this is going to be students uterus of the female reproductive system, this one. Okay, this part is going to be students uterus, the bag-like structure where the baby will be developing. So students, in this structure if you see, this is going to be the uterus wall. This is going to be the uterus wall. So this uterus wall student, it is divided into 3 layers. Okay, so one of the layer is going to be endometrium, the uppermost layer that is present, okay, over here, where like direct contact with the baby will be happening. The second layer is going to be student myometrium, and then perimetrium is there. So uppermost layer that you see student is going to be the endometrium, that is in the direct contact with the baby. Okay, so this particular endometrium that is there students, okay, it will be increasing every month, okay, there will be extra growth of this layer. So this particular layer, okay, will be thickening every month in order to provide cushioning to the baby, because baby will be developing over here, okay. So that baby require a kind of good environment, right? So in order to give that baby a good environment during the course of development, this particular endometrium layer of the uterus will be developing, okay. When this endometrium layer develops, it will be providing kind of cushioning also to the baby, and the contact between the baby and the mother will be happening here. The tissues of the mother, okay, receiving the waste product from the baby and giving food and other nutrients, we can say oxygen, etc., to the baby, okay. So that will be happening through the mother's body. So the kind of connection that will be made, na placenta that we call as, okay, that will be also made over here, okay, between the mother and the like baby tissues, okay. So students, this endometrium layer is very important for the development of the baby, okay, and every month this endometrium layer will be developing, it will be thickening, okay. So when it thickens, it want to receive the baby at that time, okay. It means first of all zygote, it will be developing slowly, and then embryo will be forming. So that embryo is going to be here and it will be implanted, right? That will be that like we have discussed in the previous particular session when we were talking about the process of implantation. So when this embryo will be received, okay, early embryo will be received by this endometrium layer, okay. Before that, this endometrium is developing actually. So if a sperm is not fused with the your ovum and zygote is not forming, that will be the case, okay, most of the time, because every month any female is not getting the sperm. That is the very common thing, okay. So students, it means most of the time the egg will not be receiving sperms and that will not be fertilizing, zygote will not be forming, okay. It means there is no role of this endometrium for that time, for that month. Next month another like ovum will be releasing, okay. So in 1 month, whatever with the preparation that uterus has done, this endometrium layer thickening basically, it will be denaturing, okay. So if fertilization is not happening, egg is not meeting with the sperm, so this endometrium layer will break, okay. When this endometrium layer breaks, then it will be moving out through the vagina, okay. So through the vaginal opening, this particular endometrium layer broken down, denatured endometrium layer will be moving out in the form of blood and we can say certain tissues. So that is what going to be the menstrual flow that we commonly call as periods, okay. So students, now this is going to be the thing that we are talking about here in the first phase, menstrual phase. So what is menstrual phase, students? Whatever be the preparation that was done by actually the mother's uterus wall or female's basically uterus wall, the endometrium thickening, it is breaking down and it is releasing in the form of blood, mucus and certain tissue forms, okay. So this is going to be, students, your menstrual phase that is happening inside the female, okay. So what is it? Menstrual phase, shedding of endometrial lining. So endometrial lining that was made by the female uterus, okay, it is shedding, it is breaking down, denaturing and moving out from the body of the female. That is what the menstrual phase. It will be like going for somewhat about 2 to 5 days, okay. The timing is not important, the kind of it's like repetition on proper time, it is more important. So every month, okay, it could be in some females around 2 days, in some females it could be 3, 4, 5 like that. So that is not important, 2, 3, 4 or 5. It is important that every month, okay, it is happening on a regular period of time, okay. So if some female is having 28 days, so next 28 days, then again it is happening. Next 28 days, again it is happening. That is the important thing. If it is not happening like that, there is a severe fluctuation in that, it means a problem is there and that female should need to like talk to the doctor, okay, gynecologist basically, okay. So students, this menstrual phase that we can see, okay, that bleeding that is happening that is for around, we can say 2 to 5 days. Let me make here 2 to 5 days. Okay, that is going to be your menstrual phase. Okay, here students, if we talk about the progesterone and estrogen, these two hormones that are there, that are the sex hormones in the females that are required for the secondary sexual growth and the proper we can say maintenance of the baby during the development phase. Progesterone, that is the we can say hormone. So these two hormones level is going to be down, low at this particular moment of time, because they are not required at this time in that much level, because no preparation is happening. Preparation is actually shedding down. It is like denaturing, because the mother's body has not received the sperm. Okay. Now, so this is going to be, students, your menstrual phase. After menstrual phase, the next cycle will start. Actually, cycle ends at the menstrual phase, and just after, you can say, it will be starting back. Okay. So students, as soon as menstrual phase is done, we will be counting, but when menstrual phase start now, from that point we will be counting the cycle. Okay. So first day of the menstrual phase will be the we can say first day of the menstrual cycle also. Okay. So if we talk about, student, next thing that will be happening after the menstrual flow done, it means those bleeding thing that was happening, endometrial layer that was moving from the out of the body of the female, when it is done, then the next phase starts, that is the proliferative phase, that we also call as your follicular phase. Okay, so why we call, student, it follicular phase or proliferative phase? Because in this phase, student, proliferation will be happening. Follicles, a special type of, student, cells are there in females. Okay, they will be developing and giving rise to the egg. It means the female gamete. We call them follicles. Okay, and these follicles actually, students, are going to be made and will be in dormant condition from that time when female is in the mother womb. It means when a female like child or baby is in the mother womb, at that time only these follicles are actually formed, but they remain in dormant phase, and they become active when female attains the puberty at the time of 10 to 14 years. Okay, so now every month what is happening, students, actually that follicle, one follicle among those all follicles, one follicle is maturing. Okay, and that particular one follicle that is maturing, it is becoming bigger and bigger, and then it becomes the Graafian follicle, a very big, okay, follicular we can say structure will be made, and from that follicle, okay, one egg will be released, and that particular process is known as ovulation. Okay, when egg will be releasing from that particular one follicle. So every month, students, one follicle in the female, okay, will be becoming bigger in size, and it will be releasing, okay, at proper time it will be releasing one egg. So it starts developing in the follicular phase just after the your menstrual flow. Okay, and that is what the proliferative phase also, two names. And around at the time of 14 days, okay, if we count from that menstrual flow, the 14th day is going to be there when from that Graafian follicle egg will be released. It means female gamete will be released. When female gamete, student, will be released, then it will be received by the fallopian tube or oviduct, this part, okay, where sperm will be coming and like fusing with the female gamete. Okay, if it is received, definitely. Okay, so at this time, students, if you see, when ovulation is happening, estrogen levels will be rising. Okay, slowly your endometrium will also be thickening. Okay, so follicular phase or your proliferative phase that is there, students, in this case one follicle will be developing, and side by side uterus is again preparing in order to like make a good environment for the developing baby. Okay, so students, this is going to be the next phase, that is the follicular phase. Then ovulatory phase is going to be there, students. It means ovulation will be happening. It means the kind of ovum that is there, egg that is there, it will be releasing, okay, into the fallopian tube. Okay, so ovulation occurs, students, Graafian follicle will be rupturing and ovum, egg will be releasing into the fallopian tube. Okay, and student, this egg will be viable only for 24 hours. So if in the next 24 hours it is receiving the sperm, fertilization will happen, zygote will form, baby will form later on. But if this egg is not receiving the sperm, then this particular egg will be dying in just 24 hours. Okay, so viability of egg is going to be 24 hours in the reproductive system of the female, but it is different for the sperms. Sperms remains viable for around 6 to 7 days. Okay, now students, secretory phase. In secretory phase, what happens? Whatever be students, the kind of Graafian follicle that was there, when it will be releasing the egg, okay, in ovary, this is the ovary students, the Graafian follicle, it has released basically the egg like this. So egg is released from the Graafian follicle. Now the rest of the part that is remained, okay, of this Graafian follicle student, this part, it is known as corpus luteum. Okay, it will be becoming basically into a structure that is known as your Graafian, your corpus luteum. Good evening, Javendra. I am very good. Hope you are also great. Okay, students. So now this is going to be students corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum students that is there, it will be releasing good amount of your progesterone hormone, and that is going to be pregnancy hormone helping in the pregnancy process. If your egg has fertilized with the sperm, then this corpus luteum will remain intact, keep on releasing the hormone and helping in the process of overall development of the baby. But if sperm is not received by the ovum, then slowly after some time this corpus luteum will denature. And as soon as this will be fully denaturing, this corpus luteum, it is the sign that now menstrual flow will again start, because no fertilization has done. So when corpus luteum is forming, at that time secretory phase is going on, luteal phase is going on. Corpus luteum is developing, and that's why luteal phase. Secretory phase, because it is secreting hormones. So that time students, if the secretion of that particular fertilization is not done, so this corpus luteum will break down, and again student menstrual flow will happen, and next cycle will again start. So in this way students, menstrual cycle keeps on going until the last menstrual flow that happens in the females somewhere at the age of 45 to 50 years, that we call as your menopause. So that is what going to be the menstrual cycle. Javendra, all the very best. Do you have any question? You can ask Javendra, any type of questions or doubts that you have for your exams. So students, this is going to be all about your reproductive health and the menstrual cycle. In the next particular session, we'll meet with the next wonderful we can say topic again. Till then, keep growing, keep studying students. Take care. Javendra, are you having any doubts or questions that you want to ask right now? Then all the very best for exam. Get good marks. Students, so let's meet in next wonderful session. Bye bye, take care everybody. Have a nice evening, good night. Keep studying, keep growing.